one and all, to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. I am the devilishly handsome rogue himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE, joined by my indomitable broadcast partner,
the one, the only, true champion, Tony G, welcoming you all to 2019, which is, of course, our one-year anniversary as we delve into the
Royal Rumble. This is one of my favorite cards because it's the official beginning of WrestleMania season.
It is.
In terms of being a wrestling fan, it's the most wonderful time of the year. So, getting right into the card, let's start at the pre-show.
The pre-show, yes. Unfortunately,
Two title matches
on the pre-show, and this first one...
I'm liking the challenger's chances.
Yeah, I always like the challenger's chances on the pre-show.
They love switching titles on pre-show matches, let me tell you. It's their favorite thing to do. No, so this one should be pretty... We'll get through this pretty quick. Unfortunately, the Buddy Murphy, Itami, Kalisto, and...
Tazawa.
I always get the last one wrong. Sorry, Tazawa. You're actually a really good talent.
It's a busy match.
Yeah,
busy match.
It will be, but it's going to be a
damn,
great one.
that's going to be a fun
It'll
match.
be, yes. Like, we will be here on time to see it just because of this match, because we know it's going to be that.
I'm going to go out on a limb. Match of the pre-show.
Whoa!
You heard it here first.
Whoa!
Match of the pre-show.
Wrestling Nostradamus over here, folks.
There's a reason I'm the champ, folks.
Sheesh. Might be a 1,000-year reign of that title with that kind of forethought.
That's what I'm saying.
So, obviously, on three, want to do this? 1, 2, 3. Murphy. Yeah. And in all honesty, you deserve it, buddy.
Yes.
He put 205 Live in the top 5 matches of the year last year. So
I would say, though, if there is a title change here, I'm going to give it to Hideo Itami.
Me too. I was just about to say Itami. It would have to be him.
If there is, it's be him.
So, next up is Shinsuke Nakamura versus, because there is no more Aiden, a very muted.
Rusev Day. Rusev comes in as the champion, having knocked off Nakamura for the U.S. title. Here, Nakamura looks to get it back.
Because the back loves Rusev so much, I could see this actually being the one time that the title switches hands in the pre-show.
Yeah,
but even then, couldn't you just see, Rusev, you have that esteemed honor as well. But no, it's going to be Rusev Day.
I got Rusev as well. So no surprises on the pre-show.
Until a true reunion, I can't sing it. I'm sorry.
I know. I agree.
So, moving on to the official card for Royal Rumble 2019.
On our list, I don't actually expect this to be the opener. In fact, I actually expect this to be pretty far down the card.
Well, it does feature the best in the world. And the man who came to play The Miz.
Taking on champions of SmackDown in the tag scene,
The Bar! So this is actually going to be another really good match. I'm anticipating just the overall. Yeah. You got Shane getting to do his thing, and gosh, Shane and Cesaro getting to work together will actually be a pretty good one.
They actually had a fun little brawl on the go-home show, so yeah, it's going to be a good match. Not a lot of build for Shane and Miz as a team here, mostly just vignettes. Very little in-ring work, mostly singles matches. So this is almost kind of like their debut, and they're going for the titles. Not a shocker since Shane's a part-timer. So, who you got?
You're not going to like this. I am thoroughly entertained with Shane and Miz. I'm going to go with them taking the titles. It's going to be something new, compelling, and you're going to want to see it come Tuesday.
Yeah, unfortunately, actually, I do too. I do. And I'll tell you why. Because I think that them as a team is
we're in agreement, sir.
Is not going to be a long-term thing. But I think just to shake things up, they'll put the titles on them. Because I kind of expect Miz and Shane to go one-on-one at Mania. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Well, it's probably not going to be Daniel Bryan Miz anymore.
No, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I think they win the title.
Sorry. A moment of silence for the great feud that could have been. Okay, anyway, so that's going to be a really good match. I'm looking forward to it. We're kind of booking ahead to Mania. Who knows what... A lot can happen on the turn of a dime in Vince McMahon's emergent circus.
Yep.
So, moving right along, Asuka versus the man, Becky Lynch.
Actually, I will not be surprised if this is the first match of the main show.
Yes, because it gives either one of them a chance to get rested up for the Rumble match.
Exactly. And I think this would be a pretty hot way to start the show.
I'm going to go out on a limb. Becky is not walking out with the SmackDown title. Asuka's going to somehow, some way retain, but Becky's still going to stay strong.
Yeah, actually, I've got Asuka retaining as well. So far, we're in agreement.
I just have such great clairvoyance. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the better matches.
I decided to point it at wrestling, of all things.
This is going to be a hell of a good match. I'm actually looking forward to it a lot. I think overall, it probably could have had a little better build, but the match is going to be good. But yeah, I think Asuka retains.
So, moving right down the line to the next Women's Championship match, we have Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey, female Goldberg herself. So, that being said, that we are now dealing with the 21st century female Goldberg on 3. Would you like to?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Ronda Rousey. Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot better match than it's going to be. Yep. It's going to come down to the Rumble, folks. I got a feeling.
All right.
So, but... I mean, come on, it's Ronda. How could...
It's going to be Ronda. I actually liked the build for this, and they do have a unique chemistry, not one that Ronda's had since going on her championship tour. I think that this is going to be one of the better matches that Ronda has as champion. Ronda's not losing the belt here. Ronda's going to lose the belt at Mania. That's
ladies,
kind of a given at this point.
Here's to the great title matches you're going to have, I'm sure.
Indeed. Rumors coming out that Ronda's done after Mania. So she's obviously going to keep the belt until...
Oh my, that is a rumor.
It is.
A rumorous rumor.
And if it's true, she's not going to lose until Mania. So, obviously,
huge if true.
Ronda retains. Sasha will still come out looking strong. I'm guessing Sasha will be in the Rumble later on anyway.
So, moving on down the line to the WWE Championship match against the champion Daniel Bryan and...
No, the new Daniel Bryan.
Yes, and I've actually kind of enjoyed this character.
I know.
Versus the phenomenal AJ Styles, Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast 2018 Wrestler of the Year.
Absolutely.
And he earned every inch of it.
Be fantastic.
As champion, I'm going to let you take it.
Honestly, I am torn on this match because, honestly, I completely expect 110% schmodge finish. Not a clean finish. Now, whether that means Daniel gets some, foot on the rope pin to get the 1, 2, 3 over AJ, or a disqualification. You know how much they like to have schmodge finishes for AJ Styles.
It's like, bro, then we're going to swerve them all.
I know.
You don't think, do you?
But, all that
Let's
being
move on.
said, as good as the match is, as wonky as the finish will probably be, and as easy as it would be to pick Daniel Bryan to retain, I'm going out on a limb. AJ Styles gets the belt back.
Well, KOE Nation, this is for you. This will be the match that the great champion, Phil KOE, regains his title, because the winner of this match, and still WWE champion, will be the new Daniel Bryan. To you, sir.
Probably. In fact, it probably will be Daniel Bryan.
Sealed your fate.
But I'm still sticking with AJ Styles on this one.
And you would be within your right. He is phenomenal.
I just don't think they have a good long-term plan going into Mania with the WWE World title. So, and I feel like they're kind of pushing AJ in a different direction to stay atop the division. So maybe he gets it back here. Maybe they continue. Maybe in Mania you see a multi-man match. I don't know where they're going with it. Regardless, I still think AJ is going to be up there in the upper echelon of the card. So that includes the title. I could just as easily see the title back on him.
True. I mean, every time there's talk of AJ at a big card, there's always also talk of Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement. So,
oh, man.
Yes, we all want to see it. And he kind of has, so there's no reason he can't.
Nope.
I'm a dreamer. But, so, we have a bit of a disagreement there.
Finally, we have some difference.
So, moving on down the line to the Universal Championship match. Finn Balor, apparently just Finn Balor. We're not going to pull out the demon because, you know, let's save it for when the stakes are really high, like, you know, Baron Corbin. Yeah, There we go. It's going to be Finn Balor versus the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry, I'm just going to go ahead and take this one. If it's Brock versus regular Finn, it's not even going to be close. Brock is going to maul him worse. Like, this is going to be considered assault in at least 7 states. If the demon comes out, there's a chance, but I still got Brock retaining no matter what.
Yeah, but we also thought it was going to be a mauling when he fought Daniel Bryan. And that turned out to be one of the better damn matches
That
of the year.
was one of the better matches of the year, yes.
So,
but
I think this is going to be a really good match. It
will be.
This is a pairing that both guys have wanted for a long time.
Weirdly, like, Brock usually doesn't want to work with
anybody,
really.
This is one Brock has wanted for a long time.
He wants to work a match with just a pile of cash. He will do that.
So this is going to be a good match. It's going to be a good match, and actually, I think it's going to be the Demon Balor that pops out surprise. That
would be interesting. Now, far be it from Finn Balor to work the marks and say, oh, not going to be Demon Balor. Oh, here I am. You know, far be it from a wrestler to ever work, folks. Right. It's never happened. Are you implying that it would, sir? I'm offended at the notion.
Sorry.
So, you think it's going to be Finn?
Nah, I got Lesnar retaining.
All right. Well, Danny B, it's looking like it's coming down to you and the Rumble matches. So,
I assume you're sticking with Lesnar.
Of course.
Sure you don't want to go with Balor?
Oh.
You're tempted.
No, I am not, because it's the basic rule of wrestling. Look at these two guys. Here's a guy who's muscular, but he's also tiny, versus the former UFC World Heavyweight Champion and the guy who's won every belt that you have that matters in your company, and it just looks like he should be able to whip you and everybody else in the audience. Yes, it will be Lesnar if there is any justice in this world.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, Lesnar's going into Mania.
Now that I've got all right.
Lesnar's going into Mania with the title. You know it's true.
Okay. Yes. I mean, now let's get into
mostly because this will be the last time he defends it until Mania.
If he even appears. So, moving on to who will Lesnar be facing at WrestleMania. Sorry, Finn.
30-man Royal Rumble match. For this match, we structure our points a little bit differently. We have each 3 picks. One worth 3 points, one worth 2 points, one worth 1 point. 1 point would be our dark horse pick.
Our number 1 pick is worth 3 points. So getting the winner of the overall Royal Rumble correct is a big up.
Yeah, and this is probably what's going to swing it in my favor, because obviously I like my chances. But we also are going to pick a surprise entrant, and there's a lot of ways I could go with this, but who you got for your surprise entrant? This is more of our tiebreaker rule. If we have a tie on the points at the end of the night...
The guy who should have been in the Universal title match, Demon Balor.
Okay.
Demon Balor is going to show up.
So you got Finn Balor losing to Lesnar. He goes, gets painted, shows up in the Rumble. Okay.
Yep. That's my big, I'm guessing they're not shelling out big cash this year for a surprise entrant, so they're just, it's either going to be like Cena or Finn with some paint on.
As much as I'd like to see like The Rock or Batista, I'm going to go with an easy one here. Kevin Owens.
Ooh, nice.
Kevin Owens.
Nice. Nice. If we get both of them, that'll just be
a wash. It'll be a wash. That's our tiebreaker.
So,
who's your worth 1 point dark horse to win it?
Because he did me so much good the last time there was a Royal Rumble, obviously got to go with Bobby Lashley. No.
Come on.
No.
All right.
No, I've got, because he's going to lose the Royal Rumble, or he's going to lose his WWE title match, I have number 3, AJ Styles.
Yeah, actually, that was kind of my ace in the hole with
but
that.
Then you're undermining your own WWE title match.
I am. That's exactly what I'm doing. Because if he happens to win it, if he loses the title match, I expect him to do very well in the Rumble match. Because I don't see him not being in it. So yeah, he'd be my number 1 point dark horse.
Number 2, I've given this some thought, and it's too bad Braun's not in the match. I mean, he would be my number 1 through 3.
I don't even know where his status is anymore.
My number 2... I'm going to go with Demon Balor. He's going to be the surprise, and he's going to be my number 2 pick.
Number 2 pick, Demon Balor.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's a weird thing. As just Finn Balor, he's mid-carder at best, jobber to the stars. As the Demon, he's a main event character every time he shows up. So Demon Balor gets a way bigger pop, and I could see them trying to do kind of a Mick Foley thing there.
Okay. So he loses the match against Brock, wins the Rumble as Demon Balor, faces Brock again at Mania, maybe
as Demon Balor this time.
Okay. I like it. I'm liking it. Man. You know, and that's the other thing with the AJ pick. If he wins the Rumble, I fully expect him to challenge for the Universal title instead of the World title, moving him to Raw. So that's why, back in my mind, conspiracy theory, maybe Balor does walk out with the Universal title. Then you could set up that AJ Balor match at Mania. Not going to happen, but I like the idea of it. My number 2, totally off track here, but my number 2 pick, worth 2 points, Drew McIntyre, because Vince loves him some Drew McIntyre.
Oh, boy, does he. That's something I should have considered, but none of that's going to matter because my number 1 pick, and I can already tell Tony G and his 3s and 3s of fans are just, they're like, oh, I'm going to have to just rip off his pick because it's just so good.
You're taking my pick, aren't you?
Oh, no, you're taking my pick.
No.
The architect, Seth Rollins.
Son of a bitch. All right. Well, this is not a lot of complacency on this one. All right. Yeah,
it's got to be sad.
It's going to be sad.
It's got to be.
He's too on fire right now. They're pushing
Every
him.
time he shows up and just kind of looks around, the crowd's on fire for him. I mean, now granted, I mean, the New Day is, I mean, it could be Big E. This could be his year. This could be his year.
Could be.
But
no, it's going to be Rollins because I absolutely do expect the Universal title match
what did I tell you,
to be Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins.
Yes, yes. But what did I tell you, KOE Nation? Tony G has got to copy Bill KOE just to try and stay competitive.
I've got my picks on my phone if you want to see them.
Lies, communism, and propaganda. So, moving on to the women's Rumble match. So, since I went first for the men's, I'll let you go first for the women's. Who's your surprise?
My surprise, I don't know why, but since they didn't get her last year, AJ Lee. She was one of the bigger names of the Divas era, Divas title picture, and maybe they've smoothed things over.
Tony, we'll see Santina Marella in that ring before we see AJ Lee. Okay?
Just saying.
All right? Like,
Money
I tell you what, I won't even make that a tiebreaker. If AJ Lee actually walks in that ring in Royal Rumble, I will give you a point.
Okay. Thank you.
That's how confident I am. It is not happening.
So who's your surprise?
It's either going to be Trish or Lita, so I'm just going to go
with
Lita.
It's not even a surprise, though, because they were in the Rumble last year, and they competed at Evolution. They were on the Raw.
I'm going with Lita. That's going to be our
That's a cheap pick.
Yep. But you also know it's probably going to... Who's our mystery number 30?
Well, it's supposed to be Carmella.
Sister Abigail! Or Mystery 29.
Okay, there you go.
They should have made the mixed match winners number 29.
Exactly.
So you could still have that 30 mystery, and it wouldn't matter much. But anyways.
So who's your dark horse?
That's you first, sir.
Dark horse worth one. Since she's finally cleared, gotta go with the goddess, Alexa Bliss. Who else would my dark horse be? It's gotta be.
I'm gonna go kind of. A lot of people aren't gonna agree, but again, it's a dark horse pick. Someone who's been kind of rumbling in the sides, and this could be something that could really put her over the top that she really needs. Bayley. Okay. Bayley is my dark horse pick, worth 1 point. I'm not anticipating it, but it's possible.
Sure.
So,
fair enough. Worth number 2. Number 2 pick. Who you got?
That's on you, sir.
All right. She might be the favorite, but I've got my number 2 pick is Charlotte. Charlotte Flair. Woo! Number 2.
My pick for number 2 is actually different.
Good.
The man! Becky Lynch. For 2 points. I got her as a very close possible, but I think they're going to make her chase it all the way to Mania like they did with Cena and The Undertaker match, or Stone Cold a couple years ago trying to get onto Mania. He's just going to, they're going to make her chase it doggedly, and it's actually going to be a very compelling story.
Okay. So, in other words, you've got Charlotte as your number 1 worth 3.
Woo!
Okay.
It's going to be Charlotte, the Queen.
Okay.
And then that's actually going to set up a really good WrestleMania rematch. Asuka, Charlotte 2.
Okay.
So who's your number 1? Is it my number 2? The man!
It is. It's Becky Lynch is winning the Royal Rumble, dude. Like, it's a foregone conclusion. Especially now that you have officially not picked Becky Lynch.
Hang on. We forgot. Mella is money. I mean, oh gosh. I mean, can I change my dark horse pick? No. I'm sticking with Bayley, but Mella's money.
Hey Mella, try not to ruin this one.
I tell you what, there's my extra points. As I gave you an extra point for AJ Lee. If Mella actually wins this, I get the extra point.
Fine. Yeah, okay.
So, there are predictions.
I've got Becky Lynch. You know why I've got Becky Lynch?
Because she's the man, and she's going to challenge Ronda Rousey.
Exactly.
I think they're going to make her chase it. I don't think they're going to give it to her at Rumble, and yes, they should. No. But I think they're going to make her chase it.
That's why I expect Becky to go on first. It gives Becky plenty of time to rest up, to enter the Rumble probably at like 23rd, 24th, goes in, eliminates Charlotte towards the end.
Now, I'm sure because we said it's going to be Charlotte Becky as our number 1 picks, you know, we already know that the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast is the WWE Creative Team show prep. So they're watching this beta, like, oh, guys, this is brilliant. It's got to be Charlotte and Becky in the last. I mean, Phil KOE and Tony G will be in such suspense. We have to do it, right?
It's true.
That's himself like, it's got to happen. Make it happen, guys.
It's true.
The KOE Nation will not be disappointed.
Well, that said, though, I honestly could see them configuring some triple threat match between Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. I do. I see
That's too busy of a first women's main event. It's got to be one-on-one.
It's not that busy considering who's in it. Considering Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky had a killer triple threat.
It does protect Ronda more.
It does.
Because she's only been in the business a year, and this would be her 1-year anniversary of debuting at WrestleMania.
They both have beef with her.
I just think it's too busy.
I do too. I think it should be the one-on-one, and it will be Becky or Ronda. Becky wins the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble. And all that being said, Tony G retains the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast Champion.
We shall see. KOE Nation. This one's for you, and this is to a great Royal Rumble. Join us, folks.